In our Friday edition of the News Roundup, Thailand's FDA has approved the sale of COVID-19 antigen test kits in shops and online retailers. Meanwhile, the Tourism Authority of Thailand remains ever optimistic as the recent easing of restrictions should entice a large crowd of foreign visitors. Details on these stories and many more coming right up. Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to the Thaiger channel, and you're watching Thailand News Today, your Monday to Friday news roundup straight to your YouTube feed. So be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. All right, as I alluded earlier, Thailand's Food and Drug Administration has approved the sale of COVID-19 antigen test kits in shops and online retailers. Previously, the kits could only be purchased through hospitals, health clinics, and pharmacies where a pharmacist is present. Online retailers must have FDA authorization before they can begin selling the kits and must allow a license that allows them to advertise and sell medical devices. Officially approved ATKs can also be purchased on the FDA website or through its QR code. The FDA has cautioned buyers to ensure the kits they're purchasing carry Thai labeling that says allowed for use by the general public, written in Thai of course, which means they are of high quality. The Center for COVID-19 Situation Administration has decided to extend the color-coded scheme for disease control restrictions, but has lifted some measures for dark red zones. The revisions go into effect today. The stay-at-home order in Bangkok and other dark red zones is now from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m., an hour shorter than the previous 9 p.m. to 4 a.m. curfew. The CCSA will review the zoning and regulations again on October the 11th. For the most part, the restrictions are pretty much the same, save for a few minor adjustments. So for a complete breakdown of the restrictions, head over to thetiger.com. Hey, it's magical crystal ball time. The Tourism Authority of Thailand expects Phuket to welcome 1 million foreign visitors in the next 6 months. TAT Governor Yuthassak Supasorn says this will generate around 60 billion baht in tourism revenue as a result of some travel restrictions being relaxed. Factors contributing to the optimism include the quarantine reduction from 14 to 7 days, a consistent decrease in infection rates, and a revision to the certificate of entry. Group applications are now possible for the COE, which means that tour operators can assist clients with the application process. Yuthassak added that his office plans to hold talks with the Foreign Ministry about the possibility of accepting COE applications 3 months in advance instead of the current 1-month limit. He even said they may also discuss eliminating the COE altogether, but let's dangle one hope at a time here. The governor said flights from Russia will also resume from the end of this month, while talks are ongoing about relaxing the measures taken with passengers that were on the same flight as someone who tests positive for COVID-19. However, discussions have yet to take place on other important factors like the cost of PCR testing and mandatory COVID insurance. So far, the Phuket sandbox has generated 2.25 billion baht since its launch on July the 1st. The nationality most represented was Thai, go figure, with around 7,500 Thais returning back home from overseas. They were followed by America, Israel, and the UK. Blood supplies in Thailand have reportedly run critically low over the recent months, as many donation centers have suspended operations due to the COVID situation. And as a result, LGBTQ activists are now urging the Thai Red Cross to change their criteria to allow those in the gay and transgender communities to donate. The chairperson for the Bangkok Rainbow Organization and the HIV Foundation Asia said that campaigns for the cause have been unsuccessful. He says gay men are discriminated against when it comes to donating blood. Currently, the Thai Red Cross says the rule is in place because gay men have a 10% risk of transmitting disease through their blood. The American Red Cross allows gay men to donate blood, but they must wait 3 months after having sex with another man before donating blood due to the risk of spreading HIV. According to the activist, blood donors in Thailand are required to answer 37 questions. Number 15 asks, "Are you a man who used to have sex with a man?" The activist says the question stigmatizes gay men and transgender women. He claims that if they were to tick yes to question 15, then they are barred from donating blood in Thailand for the rest of their lives. One of Thailand's peak travel periods for Chinese visitors looks like it will be quiet for another year. According to the South China Morning Post, the 7-day holiday in China, known as Golden Week, which starts today, used to draw in hundreds of thousands of Chinese tourists into the country. However, the Golden Week tourist influx has been virtually non-existent for 2 years. Before the pandemic, around 40 million tourists entered Thailand each year. A quarter of them were from China. Pattaya is one of Thailand's top destinations hit the hardest by the halt on international tourism, and the city's economic woes are expected to continue until next year as China maintains its strict quarantine rules for citizens returning home. All that being said, beach vendors along Pattaya beaches say that they are starting to see earnings increase due to domestic travelers. The revenue is still far below the levels they were before COVID-19, but they are seeing an uptick of weekend and weekday travelers, they say. Last weekend celebrated the Mahidol Day holiday with a 3-day weekend from September the 24th to 26th, and vendors reporting earning money on par with their profits before the pandemic. Chonburi and Pattaya have delayed their international reopenings until November, although some are relieved as they fear it could drive away the domestic tourists that are finally beginning to return in numbers. The beach vendors say they are hopeful that officials will allow for upcoming festivals to proceed, including a music festival, a fireworks festival, and the world-famous Loi Krathong Lantern Festival. Thailand's largest COVID-19 field hospital has closed its doors as the number of seriously ill patients and new infections continues to fall. The Public Health Ministry closed Busarakam Field Hospital yesterday, which was located at the Impact Exhibition Center in Nonthaburi, the province just north of Bangkok. According to a report, the hospital opened on May the 14th and has since treated over 20,000 COVID patients from the greater Bangkok area. Dr. Kiatipoom Wongsornjit from the Public Health Ministry attended the closing ceremony yesterday, saying that back in July, as many as 200 patients were admitted per day. Admissions gradually dropped in September when there were just 5 to 6 new cases a day. The last patient was discharged on September the 20th. Now, y'all know we can't end the week without a classic drug bust story. So here it is. An assistant village chief has been arrested in Maejan district of Chiang Rai for alleged drug trafficking after police seized over 3 million meth pills and a kilogram of ketamine. Police received word that a large shipment of meth pills was to arrive at Ma Pha Luang district that sits on the Thai-Burmese border. They then set up checkpoints along the route before sighting a suspicious mini caravan of 2 pickup trucks and a motorcycle. The meth pills the assistant village chief was transporting have been linked to a drug trafficking ring that is based just on the other side of the Burmese border. The town is just across the border from Ma Pha Luang district in Thailand. And that's all the news we have for you this week, but check out the videos that just popped up to continue watching other shows on the Thaiger channel. Thailand News Today will be back on Monday, so meanwhile, you're now up to date on the Thaiger.